So, Sean has to audition for the acting studies program at Portland State, which is a year-long commitment. And to better understand what our poor struggling actor has to go through, I'm going to ask him a bunch of obnoxious questions about what it is that it takes to get ready for an audition. First of all, give us the latest update on your attempts to set up an audition.
Well, I've got one on the 21st for the graduate level year-long acting study. It's 3 classes over 3 trimesters.
Quarters.
They're not quarters because there's not 4 of them.
They call them quarters because they consider summer to be part of it.
Fine, over 3 quarters, which is 9 months, I suppose. So, what was your other question?
Okay, now I know that my folks and my family know that it's been kind of an uphill battle to get information for the program because your advisor went on vacation without telling you, and then the theater department moved, nobody knew, and then the last I think they knew, you'd gotten a hold of the professor in charge of the acting studies program, and we were waiting to hear back. So what happened there?
They got back to me?
After a long and arduous trial.
After a long and arduous trial. Hold the cue card steady.
Oh.
I'm not sure what?
There was like a week where we were waiting for her to get back, and she didn't.
Oh, that's okay. She originally suggested that she should meet with me on the 18th, which is the day we get to Portland after a 5-day trip. And I suggested the 19th, and she replied, well, I don't really like to work on Sundays. How's the 21st, Tuesday the 21st sound? Which is pretty awesome, because it bought me basically 3 days. So I've been trying to find a monologue for the class. Nothing has struck me so far. I went through about 5 books of monologues today, and they were all... Well, they didn't fit my specifications. Should we leave it at that?
Well, I think your specification's really interesting.
Well, a lot of them are, political is the wrong word, but it's the best word I have for them. Either, the gay struggling actor whose partner bought him a theater, and that's the really dramatic monologue when he gets the theater. Or the speech where Rumsfeld tells the troops how much he hates freedom. And it's supposed to be really funny and ironic. I'm not making that one up. Actually.
You didn't tell me about that one.
I didn't tell you about that one. I thought it might be funny, but it's not really funny. Or something, I could ham up or something. And that was just one of the books. Some of the other ones, the thing I look for in a comedic monologue is that they are funny to me. I want to laugh when I read them. Or at least be able to imagine myself doing something funny with it. And so far, nothing has struck me. So I'm going to head to Borders tomorrow. It was Barnes & Noble today.
Okay. Well, good luck. Can I just take the camera?
Do I?
Yes, you do.
Okay, what am I asking you about?
Well, I just want to see if you'd actually... Nope, you already failed.
What did I fail?
Put the camera on me and immediately tilted it away because Sean is a drunken chimpanzee when you put a camcorder in his hand.
Look how big our room is.
I'm gonna punch you and I'm not gonna feel bad.
Hey, you, what you doing?
Actually, I do want to make a small complaint, which is that I don't have a book list yet, and Sean does, and that's totally not fair, because I have been ready for my classes. I registered for my classes in the middle of June, and don't have book lists for any of them, and the one that he's been able to register for, he's got a full book list for. So not fair.
I wanted to point it out. I have one class that I've registered for, and she's got 3 classes. So it's not that weird that I only have one class that has a book list.
You have
technically
like 7 books. I looked up the book list for him. It's like 7 books, and I'm sitting here with nothing. And I can understand you don't want to have books in book editing because, I mean, hello, it's book editing. You're going to be editing a book. But that my document design class doesn't have a book list yet, and that my frame maker class doesn't have a book list yet is interesting. Although, having actually seen what Adobe considers a textbook for Frame Maker 9, I'm not surprised, because Adobe wanted to teach you about customing your layout. And just
Costuming?
in case... Customing. Customing.
Not customizing.
You would think. And this is the book that they delayed for a month because they wanted to make sure that they got it correct. To give you an idea of the mess it was when my class got it, my professor had to completely disregard an entire chapter because there was no way for him to fix it. And he's been teaching FrameMaker for like 10 years. So maybe they... You know, now that I think of it, I'm kind of happy there's not a book list for FrameMaker. Stop doing that. You know I can see you move, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Push the button, Frank.
Is it the red one?
Yes. Hello. It is very, very late on September 4th. It's actually almost September 5th, so that puts us at T-minus 10, I guess? That sounds right. And I had a very exciting day. I printed off the IKEA list, which is 3 pages, and then realized that we were actually overpaying for an IKEA couch of all things, and found basically the exact same couch for cheaper, so I win. And then I spent a solid half hour on the PSU website just trying to figure out where my classes were located. Because you would think that that would be something if you pulled up, say, your course schedule, it would be listed. It would give you the name of the class, what time it was, what day it was, and what building it was. And it didn't. And they had drop-down menus, but they didn't work. Although I have been wrong, I thought I had an 8 a.m. Friday class, and I don't. In fact, my very first class, my only day class actually, starts at noon. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself today. I also printed off all of the hotel information and all of the directions and nearly ran the printer out of ink. Sorry, Jean. And tomorrow I might actually pack something. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Last we left our dashing hero, Sean. He was attempting to find a monologue, and let's see how that went.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Well, I did find one. A couple, actually. I found a couple of books, Best Men's Monologues from a certain year. The one I didn't check last night was 2007. It wasn't with the rest of them, so I went back to Barnes & Noble tonight and found a couple I liked from there. I'm not in love with them, but they're good. So that's about it.
You snoot.
Snoot?
You should... And tell me, I'm just curious, what about the Borders acting section made you decide not to use them?
Man. What Borders acting section? There isn't one. It's about yay big, and there are they have some plays. They do have a pretty good selection of plays. A lot of Arthur Miller and Beckett and that sort of thing, but not really anything in the acting and directing section. It's literally about that big.
It's bad.
Yeah, I'm wider than it. And it's stuff like The Power of the Actor by Ivana Chubbuck, and I don't think I saw Stanislavski in there, but...
You already own The Power of the Actor, don't you?
Well, up until we sold it. It's not my thing, but I don't know if they had an actor prepares or not. I forgot to look for it. So that's sort of the go-to one for stage actors. So.
But you have a monologue.
I do.
And you have a book that could bring you other monologues.
Yes, and there were a couple more in there that I liked, too. So I thought I'd get 2, because I've got the audition for the acting class, and then I've also got the audition for the play on the 28th, which is a comedy and requires a scene or monologue no more than 4 minutes. So a 2-minute monologue, or a 3 or 4 minute monologue would be just fine for that.
All right. Well, it is very, very late, and you have to be up for work tomorrow. So say goodnight, Gracie.
That's not either of our names.